What up, guys? This is Kelvin with West 10 TV. All right, man. I'm gonna do a reaction video to man. Judge Joe Brown was on this platform. Take a look here. Make sure yeah, I never knew TV. Okay, he was on their platform. I think it was like I guess in the last few days or whatever. But Judge Joe Brown, and he had a lot to say. And this is, I quote, Judge Joe Brown said this: any man locked up for over 14 months, there's a 92% chance that he done this. And what he's referring to, and again, I'm referring to what Joe Brown said. This is not my um views on it, but he said if you've been in jail for over not 14 months, basically you possibly has been interacting in homosexual activities in jail. So that's what he was referring to. So I'm gonna play the video. I will stop it from time to time and chime in, but this is, you're gonna hear it straight out of Joe Brown's mouth. Okay, just 1 second, guys. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It was one of the ones I've just kind of fell up on, kind of found the video, and I just was shocked at some of the stuff he was saying, because this is an alarming numbers. Kind of scary, to be honest with you. I mean, but here he goes.
How does released inmates who have been raped impact the physical and mental health of the communities they return to?
Okay, I'll talk about that. I was a judge, got elected to 2 8-year terms, criminal court judge in Memphis. And at the time I was presiding on the bench in Memphis, Memphis had the dubious distinction of being number 5 in the nation in absolute numbers of state criminal charges that were prosecuted or resolved. It was Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Dallas, Memphis, Houston, Miami, and Detroit in that order. Now, 1991 and 2, CDC, the Centers for Disease Control, sent a special hit team to Memphis because of the extremely high incidence of HIV that had developed in the penal system in Memphis. Memphis has, or Shelby County, where Memphis is located, has the dubious distinction of having more inmates than any other county in the entirety of the United States. It's got a federal maximum security facility, a state medium and minor facility, and county facilities and juvenile facilities. Well, I wound up being the administrative judge for the criminal court, so I was in charge of what was going on. And what came out, thanks to a sister who went astray, Catherine Bowers, now deceased, she got a legislative act passed that required that somebody 18 to 25 who was locked up, sentenced, would have to be tested for STDs upon registration in the institution and upon release. So what CDC found out was that you were having 4 to 6% going in HIV positive, and after 3 months, 90 days, you were getting somewhere around 64, 66% HIV positive.
Hold on, Fire. You said it went from 4% to 60 something
Yeah,
percent?
because what was going on is if somebody had been incarcerated for 9.
Okay, now that already seems like a big jump right there, and I hope he got his facts straight on that. But I mean, man, that is scary, And I know that HIV, is a treatable disease now, I guess. But I mean, I don't still think people want to have it. So I mean, it's still like you can't get rid of it, right? But that's an alarming number. I mean, it's gonna get better though. It's gonna get better. I'm gonna let the video carry on with the video.
9 months, there was a 92% probability that they had engaged in either voluntary or involuntary homosexual contact with some other inmate. The bad problem is that what was going on in, say, Memphis, is in certain areas of Memphis, you had a situation where 9 out of every 11 male blacks between 18 and 29 were not just on probation or parole, but
All right, I'm gonna stop it right there because I should have waited to make let the video go a little further the first time. But what he just said was he said, I guess after so long of them being in jail, 92% of the people were coming out with HIV. He's basically almost saying like 9 out of 10 men that was going into the Shelby County Jail was coming out with HIV. So obviously they were interacting in probably not every one of them, but in some kind of homosexual act. I think this is. I mean, I know I'm the video's been out for a day, I think, but this clip is probably gonna go viral, man. This guy, man, this is some real crazy numbers, and hopefully that's not the case. Maybe Joe Brown's a little old now, but but we'll see.
Were actually incarcerated. So what wound up happening is you had 11, no, you had 8 out of every 13 females in the same group had the problem. But what was going on is the 2 out of 11 that had already done time were out there dealing with the remaining 4 women out of that group who were not on probation or parole. Typically, women didn't get the time, they got put on probation or parole more so than the guys. So you had a massive HIV problem. And I would have every last Thursday in the month reserved for petitions to suspend remainder of sentence, where people were locked up in the county system where I still had jurisdiction. So I can remember one instance where I had like 23, 24 people applying for petitions to suspend remainder of sentence on this one particular Thursday. And 11 of them were interesting because I'm reading their reports and they had each had homosexual contact with each other, and all of them were HIV positive. So their defense lawyers wanted to approach the bench and asked me as the court not to publish this. I said I'd take it under advisement. Now I'm listening to all of these women come in and they wanted their man back so they could take up habitation with him again and, set up the family. So instead of dealing with them one at a time, I dealt with all of them and reserved ruling. And I called all of these women back up. I was pretty good with names then. So I said, Miss Thompson, Miss Jackson, Ms. Willis, Miss So-and-so, would you please come back to the bar there? Said, now each of you has indicated that you wish to take back up with the individuals you have testified in support of. Is that correct, ma'am? Ma'am? So, okay. The court has been asked not to reveal this, but the court must, in the interest of public safety, disclose to you the fact that each of these individuals that you have testified in support of is HIV positive. 4 of them have active cases of AIDS. And that means, and one of them says, oh, hell no, ma'am, please. What that means is if you have sex with the
All right, I'm gonna pause it there. That's a good spot. All right, so I guess that the women they don't know what's going on inside the jail. Let Joe Brown tell it. Now the thing is that I've always had my curiosity of that. I thought that was the prison systems and HIV. I just for some reason in my mind I think they go hand in hand, and I do feel like that some of them do have live a life in there, and then they come back to their wives or girlfriends or baby mamas, whatever they have, whatever the case may be, and then like you said take up habitation habitat with them, whatever you want to call it, and then that's how the cycle of the disease gets passed on, because I guess in some communities I don't this is all just a guess, but I think in some communities it just the HIV rates are higher than others in certain communities. But anyway, but yeah, Joe Brown is, like I said, he's definitely giving us some raw and uncut here. But I'm gonna get back to the video.
film, you are dead. There is no known cure. This is like 93, 94. And the court feels that it must apprise you of the danger. See, but that was a regular thing. So you're looking at all of these people that are going for bad, and they've been booty busting each other. And see, not only that, there was another thing too, which dealt with rape. What was happening was very interesting. I'm not talking about these cases where it was a dispute over somebody said they were going to pay somebody's rent, so somebody got mad when they didn't and accused them of rape. I'm talking about when you had an actual rapist, and this has been going on longer than when I was on the bench because I was a criminal defense lawyer. So I would have somebody that, got a bogus case, somebody's mad at him and then they recant the rape accusation. And then I've got the ones that I know actually did something, all right? Invariably, what happened to them that I knew from being their defense lawyers and what I had as a continuing situation that I had to deal with as a judge was that somebody was walking along the streets in the projects and 4, 5, 6 guys jumped him. They stuck a pistol to his head and they just knocked him out and drug him into an abandoned apartment in the projects, and they hadn't lost the taste for what was going on in the jail, and they raped him.
Hold on, you talking about?
Hey, Joe Brown said they ain't lost the taste. I tell you, by far, Joe Brown, man, he's a character, man. He said they ain't lost the taste yet. You know what I'm saying? He said they want some of that jail stuff they had going on. Man, you know, I think a lot of people with curiosity, always want to know if that stuff is true. I know it has to go down to some extent, but Joe Brown is making it look like these are um some vicious warrior, booty busting warriors, I would say that. He thinks like they're just vicious out there in Memphis, boy. He needs to knock it off, man.
Dudes raping dudes on the street?
Yeah. So they'd rape him. And as a matter of vengeance, to scapegoat somebody else, he would rape a woman later. Now, the other thing I knew from being a defense lawyer for a long time was this. You'd get these idiots that weren't raised right. So mama would come in at 15 when he was 15 and retain you to represent him in juvenile proceedings. So it'd be money coming in, pay your secretary, pay your rent and all of your expenses and stuff like that. So by the time this guy got 18, 19, mama wasn't paying so much anymore. He'd have 4 women come in. So you're getting money from 4 women, different women, to represent him, okay? He'd do his first serious time where he'd actually do 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 months and get out. The next time you saw him, it wouldn't be the 4 women, it would be 1 or 2 women and 3 dudes that were paying for him. And it was funny because over and over again, what would happen is the women would come in a month or two, Lawyer Brown, I want my money back. Well, you can't get it back. I've signed on the jacket. What's the problem? That no good, Jamal. Look, let me tell you something. I started noticing all my Kotex were gone. And then I figured out, what is his butt bleeding like that for? And then I found out he was dealing with these 4 sissies down at the other end of the hallway. And
See, man, that man should have been stopping Joe Brown. Joe Brown said all the Kotex is gone and his butt is bleeding. Man, I'm telling you, Joe Brown don't give a damn no more. He done got older. He said, man, he gonna say what he want to say. And I mean, I guess he telling his truth, man. I mean, he was a lawyer for a long time, a judge, and so I guess he probably heard it all. But man, it's some striking revelations to say the least. Striking.
the same building I'm in, and then coming down trying to deal with me.
So, Judge, there's a real scary part to it because I'm not saying all. I don't want to be clear, right? But there are a lot of women within our community that have a infatuation with people who are in and out of prison.
I know. So if you're dealing with that, remember, 92% probability if they've been in there for 14 months that they've had voluntary or involuntary homosexual conduct or contact.
All right. Okay. This is gonna be a serious moment for me, right? For a serious stop, like I guess stoppage right here. This is the thing. I've never in my life understood why in the black community that women like these guys that continuously go in and out of jail that just never has struck me. It's just like, I don't know. It's just that bad boy thing. I guess it is what it is. I'm not hating on them or whatever, because any woman willing to deal with that man all the time, she wasn't for me anyway. But anyway, man, women got to stop this, man. Just stop it. I mean, you're basically. I'll just put it. Just give you a quick scenario. There hasn't been that many successful drug dealers or people that's done the crimes for a long continuous time. I can't even really think of any. Everybody's got caught and everybody's went to jail. You know what I'm saying? So if you do lay down with this person and have a kid with them, what kind of life are they really going to give you? You gonna ball out for 2 or 3 years and then you gotta suffer for, like, I mean, 18 or how many of you know what I'm saying, or whatever it is. But it's just ridiculous that and I 2024, and there's still women that loves that guy that's in and out of jail. I mean, and I know we all, like, a lot of people always talk about, we got to be there for our kids, and we do got to be there for our kids and all that stuff for the men part. But the women, y'all got to stop picking the real dirt bags, man. You know what I mean, out the bunch, and want to lay down with them. Because that's on y'all on that one, black women. I'm gonna say that.
Sag, bagged, and dragged is a good indication. Your pants holding down. First time I saw that was 1980. It was July. My law partner had died behind some mess representing some people in the drug cartel, all right? So I had filed for this delayed appeal on one of his clients that I was appointed to handle, all right? It's 105 degrees. This is the main penitentiary up in Nashville, and the air conditioning had broken down in the attorney-client visitation room. So if you didn't mind being out on the yard with them, they'd let you interview them out in the yard. So I've got a yellow tablet, and I'm out there taking notes on this guy's delayed appeal. So I looked up, and I saw somebody with pants hung down off his behind and a loose shirt tied in a knot in the front. So what the hell is that? And ordinarily, since they can't wear belts, these guys get these tailored jeans and stuff. He said, "Oh, Lawyer Brown, it's like this, man. You mean the dude with his pants hung down like that, man?" It's like, look, all of us up in here doing long time of life, man, we got everything up in here except some soft booties, so we making them. That's man pussy over there. See, he doing short time, so that's the signal to everybody to bust him out, turn him out. See them over there with the dresses and the wigs and the weaves? We gonna turn them into that. So see them trees over there with his pants like that, man, when the guards ain't around, we bend them down, pull them down, get down. And when he on the block, man, like we don't let him wear his pants, man.
Hey, don't judge Joe Brown sound like Towers Howard, Terrence Howard. Oh man, he said, man, Judge Joe Brown, boy, he's something else. Oh man.
And he don't get to wear no pants. Is that shirt, that be his dress, man. We already done made him some jewelry up in metal shop, and Jamal got his baby sis sending him some mascara, rouge, lipstick, eyeshadow, and plastic nails. We girling dude out. So in the 1980s, when you were sagged and bagged, that meant you're doing short time, turn him out. Make the booty wide open so anybody can do it. By the 1990s, it had morphed into that person belongs to somebody important. And you saw all these dudes getting buffed out from pumping iron. That's so if anybody was busting them out, it was by choice rather than just taking it. So you get all these folks, the lower the sag, the cooler the dude. No, you just look like you've been booty busted off in the joint. This has been going on for 45, 44 years. So what is it that is being shown? See, this thing spreads through the black community. It spreads through the mainstream community.
To the point where it's seen cool as doing time.
Yeah. Like, man, you don't want man, tell Earl, man, tell Jamal, man, he don't know what time it is, man. He got to do his time for, it's a man thing, so you got to understand. No. Why do you say you have to be in the slave quarters before you can understand manhood? That's because you've never dealt with a man. See, everybody that's being a man got a job. He a little raggedy. His car's not cool. And mama's sitting up there. Look here. Mama done give you all this good love, and I know you got something for me. And then he comes by there. He better hurry up. You better get what you gonna get. You ain't gonna wallow up in this for that little piece of change all night long. And he hardly got up and wiped himself off, got to his ride, parked behind the dumpster, and he's left. And mama's on the phone, baby, you know that ring you wanted down in American Loan? Well, mama needs some good loving. You come over here tonight, give mama some good loving. We go shopping tomorrow. So the kid is watching somebody hustle his mama. Mama willingly gets hustled. And the guy that's got the job acting like a man, he's looking down on him. So I had a remarkable achievement, which was the statewide recidivism rate was universally about 80%. In my courtroom, it had dropped down to 18, and it was dropping when I retired in 2000. And what I was doing was showing these boys manhood and duty, honor, obligation, accountability. And 25 years later, 30 years later, I get folk walking up to me with a lot of gray hair. Judge, you remember me? No, I don't. Well, you gave me some time. Did I give you enough? Yeah, but it was that manhood thing. I'm a grandfather now, and you know, all my
Yeah, Joe Brown did have he had some kind of program down in Memphis. It was kind of like almost like a mentorship kind of thing. People he was still giving them time, but he did have them go through some things like that you kind of, I guess, rehab people to be, be able to go back into society. So Judge Joe Brown, he's well known in Tennessee. I mean, and everybody's seen the TV show. I'm actually in Tennessee, if you guys didn't know that already, but yeah, Joe Brown, that was still striking though. Like I said, at 92%, if you did over 14 months in Shelby County, he's saying that you probably 92% chance that you was involved in some of those acts. And man, that's crazy. I hope Joe Brown's wrong, man, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people around here with a lot of different things they probably don't know they got. If that's the case. But anyway, man, I'm gonna hit y'all with some more reaction videos this week. Stay tuned in because we're doing a little series, me and my team, called Did He Do It or Did He Not? Did He Do It by Puff Daddy. All right. Hey guys, I'm out. This is West 10 TV. Thank you.